I'm Sheldon Mba. I'm a senior theater major, concentration performance and dance performance. For 3 years now, I've been North Carolina Central University's Department of Theater and Dance choreographer for the season. For this particular play, T. John and His Brothers, I'm the dramaturg. And the dramaturg is basically a person who represents the playwright, who makes sure everything is authentic and makes sure everything is in accordance to the time, the setting, the place, and what the what the playwright intended for the piece to be. It's a fairy tale, folk tale-like thing, but for grown-ups. So there's animals, talking animals, and people going on adventures, and it's got this big battle between good and evil, but you know how things work in a circle and everything coming together, you know, to work for the better harmony of the world, I guess, if that's not so melodramatic. To get people just to come, you know, and support is so hard nowadays, because I think we live in a world where people are so one-track minded. Like, I have to think about me, which isn't bad, because, you know, you have to work on you before you can incorporate or involve other people. But, you know, just, you know, sometimes just take a minute, stop running, and just say, hey, what's going on? What are other people doing? So, you know. So with T. John and His Brothers, this has been, I think, one of the plays that I have done so much research on. And the research I'm talking about is not just on the script, but the playwright and then the time period. Derek Walcott, he's one of the many playwrights that take mythical creatures, mythical settings, and all types of just unrealistic things, but makes it tie into real life issues. You know, we think about, one thing that I really want people to think about when it comes to the show is cultural identity. Our culture as African Americans, or as Africans, or as Hispanics, or, you know, as Latinos, or everybody, we can't take our culture into the outside our home, you know, because we have to assimilate into a different thing if we want to survive. I feel like that's why African Americans struggle to maintain their culture, because they were brought into America where all their resources, all, you know, every last bit of them from head to toe was used. You know, things were taken from them. You know, they create stuff, people get credit for it, you know. Lewis Latimer was the African-American man who invented the filament in the light bulb. Thomas Edison did not invent that by himself, but you wouldn't hear about that because of, you know, the way the culture stayed and everything is. So it just comes into finding out who you are and finding out what your culture is. My Black Lives Matter cause is, I'm an African-American male, an endangered species. I'm going to get my college degree. I'm going to make something out of myself. I'm going to stay out of trouble. I'm going to respect you because I don't want no problems. That's kind of my stand. And all that came from my research with T. John and His Brothers as dramaturg. It's going to be a good show. Yeah. It's going to be a really good show. Come to the show. Tickets are $11. Opening night is October 2nd, and we open at 8 o'clock. It is going to be a great show. It is a mind-opening show, and it's an important show that all African Americans see. And I'm going to say this, $11 for a night that could change your whole perspective on life versus $11 on a night that you might forget because you're buying alcohol or something like that. That's my thing. I sound like an old person when it comes to stuff like that, because, you know, we want the support, but it's like, you know, I do understand people have their lifestyle, but come support. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great show.